When this happens, I'm going to get myself into the practice. And then the R side of it, so awareness, practice, the R is repetition, to do it over and over and over again. And so let me give you some examples so that you can start to become aware of what you might be doing that's holding you back, right? So let's say that you have negative self-talk and you want to start improving the way that you speak to yourself. And so your awareness is you notice in the moment when you're being overly critical or you're being judgmental about yourself in some sort of way. Okay, that's my awareness. My practice is I'm going to replace that negative thought with a supportive affirmation. And right now, I'm going to come up with that supportive affirmation. So that therefore, when I find myself in the moment, I don't have to figure it out. And so maybe what I do, instead of being critical and judgmental, right now in this moment, whenever I become critical and judgmental of myself in the future, which I know I will do, I'm going to take a step back. And my practice is I'm going to say, I'm doing my best and I love myself, which might sound corny, but really what it does is it takes me out of my old pattern and starts to create another pattern, which is like, hey, I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace here. Instead of being so critical and so judgmental in the moment, when I notice myself being critical and judgmental, I'm doing my best and I love myself and I'm doing everything that I can. That can be my practice, to say something like this. And then the repetition is every time you catch yourself engaging in this negative self-talk, you're going to want to make sure that you continue to repeat your affirmation until it becomes second nature. And what happens is, like I said, you can't control your first thought, but you can always control your second thought. If you do this long enough, eventually your second thought will become your first thought, which is what we're trying to work towards. And that takes time. Let's give another example. Let's say that you want to start eating healthier. And so you recognize, oh my gosh, I eat out of stress or I eat out of boredom. And so that's my awareness. Next time I find myself, I'm just randomly eating something in the kitchen. I read a statistic not long ago. It said like up to 80% of eating is just out of boredom and habit. And so maybe what we do is I recognize that I've been gaining weight. I don't want to gain weight, and I've been eating out of stress and boredom. And so when I find myself about to go eat something, I just take a step back and I say, am I actually hungry right now? Or is there an alternative thing that might be happening? Is there something else I could do? So what I'll do is I'll say, you know what? Am I actually hungry right now? And if I ask myself that question, I might find out maybe I'm not as hungry as I thought. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink a cup of water and I'm going to wait 10 minutes. One of the things I've also read is that a lot of times when people think they're hungry, they're actually just thirsty. And so you drink some water, and a lot of people are very, very underhydrated, you could say. So I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes and see if I'm still hungry. And so therefore, I'm not just in this pattern of just eating out of boredom, eating out of stress, but I'm actually going, okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to repeat this, and I'm going to be intentional about checking in with myself before every single meal or every snack so that I can be more mindful of my eating so that that's not so automatic. Let's say that you are somebody who procrastinates, right? Well, in the moment when you notice that you're delaying starting a task and you're trying to distract yourself in some sort of way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit to the 2-minute rule, which is where I find that task, whatever it is, no matter how big or how long it can take. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes and I'm just going to work on it for 2 minutes.